Hello everybody, it's Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show. Thank you for listening to the video today. And I got a call from somebody who was asking me or telling me how they were struggling trying to eat a diet to help overcome the cancer that they've been diagnosed with. And I get calls like this all the time related to cancer and many other diseases, but cancer is the main one. And it's a very scary thing, folks. And even if you think you know what you would do if you got diagnosed with cancer and a doctor gave you a death sentence, I am telling you, make sure that you have the wisdom and the knowledge now, and even write yourself a whole journal of notes and everything. Make yourself a video of what you would do if in the future you got diagnosed, so you can watch that video, because I've met a good amount of people who know about living healthy and living on this anti-cancer diet and lifestyle. But once they get diagnosed and a doctor is over them, and doctors get trained in talking to people about these things, and when a doctor tells you you only have 2 months to live, you start throwing everything else you thought you knew out the window and you start listening to that doctor. And that is the beginning of the end, and something I definitely recommend you do not do. I recommend you stick to what you know, and you do the research now, and don't be like some people that say to me, well, Paul, you had to change your diet because you were sick, and when I get sick, I'll change. No, that just doesn't make any sense. Don't wait till you get sick to change, folks. Make that change now and do as healthy as you can. A lot of times people call me extreme in my diet and the way I live for health, and I am extreme because it's one of the most important things to me is being healthy. So I can get done what I have to get done, so I can avoid pain, and also either avoid or prolong getting certain diseases that I would have gotten much earlier. And so we need to be extreme for our health. It's an extremely important thing, and when we don't take it important, we end up like where we don't want to be. And when people say, well, what about so-and-so? They overeat and they eat bad food, and look at them, they're not sick. You know, it's not just if you're sick or not, or if you've been diagnosed with a disease or not. There's a lot more to it when you think about the quality of life, not just how your life is going or if you have a disease or not, but the quality of your life is so different when you're eating healthy and living healthy, and you just have so much more energy and you can do so much more. But back to the initial question of the person had, she's struggling with the anti-cancer diet. Yes, if you think it's hard enough to start eating healthy when you're healthy or when you're not sick, can you imagine how much harder it would be physically to go and get a juicer and make juices and go and make recipes and do things when you're already sick? It is that much more of a challenge. So I do recommend that you make those changes now. And if you're already in that situation and you haven't made the changes, I know it's difficult. There are people out there that can help in just about every city. That you probably go on the internet and advertise and get somebody to come make your meals, get some healthy recipes from online. But really, if you've been diagnosed with cancer, taking care of it yourself is not the wise thing to do. Making the right choices yourself is the wise thing to do, and not listening to other people about what you should do with your body. But having help is extremely important, especially when you've already been diagnosed with something. Because if you're just the average person that doesn't have a disease and you get diagnosed with an illness, you know, doing it when you're not getting struck with a disease is one thing. Because if you mess up, well, you just try again. But sometimes with certain diseases, it is a matter of life and death, or it is a matter of getting better or getting worse. So you want to make sure, in other words, there's no room to leave stones unturned, or there's no stone unturned here, or whatever the phrase is. You want to make sure you're covering all your bases. And you do not have the leeway that you have as if you haven't been diagnosed with an illness. And I am calling everyone to make believe they already have an illness and be that much more diligent in what they do and not wait till they get sick. Don't wait till you get diagnosed. And if you're already diagnosed with an illness or something else, do the research. There's a much research out there for every single disease, including cancer, in what to do. There's a special out there called The Truth About Cancer. I'll put the link below the video, but I definitely suggest you watch that to understand how many choices there are out there to do. And sometimes to do nothing is better than doing something, in terms of it's better to do nothing that the doctors tell you to do and let your body heal. but you must change from what you've been doing that created the problem to begin with. Does everyone understand that? To do nothing is sometimes better if it comes down to, should I do what the doctor says or do nothing? Yes, doing nothing might be better, but if you keep doing the same thing that created the problem to begin with, that is the worst thing you can do. Something you've done, whether it's something you've eaten, maybe it's not your fault. Maybe it's the environment you live in and you was breathing in some toxic fumes, or whatever it was. Maybe you were getting stressed out. Whatever it was, if you want to change your result, you must change what's causing the problem. There's a saying, if you keep trying to do the same thing and expecting a different result, that's the definition of insanity, and it certainly is, folks. Cancer does not have to be a death sentence. Cancer could be a wonderful wake-up call that you need to do something and make some changes. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes the doctors might be the best option. But it definitely shouldn't be the first option, in my opinion. And most doctors will say with all diseases, this is the most extreme case I ever seen. You need to get surgery immediately, or you need to do something immediately. And a lot of it comes down to, you know, do they care for people? Yes, but this is also the way they make their living. So we need to take that in consideration. I mean, they're not necessarily doing these things for free. So there has to be something to that. And I met a doctor once that said if he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, he'd probably end his life. That's how much value he has in medicine and the cancer stuff and everything else. Dr. Shandell on my website. The website is American Metabolic Laboratories. Dr. Shandell has something called a blood cancer profile test. And it talks about if you have cancer, way before they can see it on a microscope, what you can do to help avoid getting cancer or for it to grow. The best way to defeat cancer is catch it when it's in less than stage 1, when it's just starting. And if you monitor your blood work, that's how you can do that. And that is so important, and I believe one of the missing keys when it comes to health that people are missing and avoiding and need to do. So American Metabolic Laboratories.net. Dr. Shandell, the longevity blood profile test also has the cancer blood profile test in there. Another thing is a place called Hippocrates Health Institute here in West Palm Beach, Florida. And they deal with all sorts of illnesses and stuff, but cancer is the main one of the people that come here who have that. And basically, that is a clinic where people can go to, or a raw food health spa where people can go to and get better. By just learning how to make those changes they need to make, not just while they're there, but for the rest of their life. And sometimes I hear people say, well, I can't afford to go there. I'm putting my children through college. I'm all in favor of education, but your life is more important than anything. And if you have to sell your house, if you have to stop your kids' college fund or whatever, to go to a place like this and get the information you need to implement in your life to get well, it's well worth it. And when there is a will, there's a way. Many places have scholarship programs. I know Hippocrates does. And there's other things you could do to get there. But get to these places and just don't take it for granted. So physically, emotionally, and spiritually, you must be extreme when it comes to your health. And also have fun in life. And once you start learning how fun it is to eat healthy, that'll make a big difference. So I want to encourage everyone out there to enjoy the extreme diet that they eat and the extreme lifestyle that they live, because the rewards are wonderful. You got great health, you feel well rested, you're not overweight, and you're always satisfied with what you're eating. So there's more to life than that, but that's a big part of it, and that's a big part of health as well. So put your comments and questions below the video. Check out the other videos on rawlifehealthshow.com. And thank you very much for joining and today in your time. I know it's busy. And eat something healthy. All right? There's other videos on my website talking about what that exactly is. And I will answer more questions as they come below the video. Until then, have a great day, everybody, and a great raw life.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.